What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, CEO, MTS Nutrition, creator of Outright Bar, and Chief Marketing Officer, TigerFitness.com. One of the main questions I get is about recovery. So whenever there's a new recovery gadget on the market, I get flooded with questions. That's a good thing because I don't just want to be niched into the whole diet and training thing, because recovery is honestly where a lot of my focus, attention, and education and training has been going for the last 5 to 10 years, along with my Exos mentorship, et cetera, et cetera. Recovery is something I am extremely interested in because I like to train hard every single day. I like to squat every day. I like to box 3 times a week. I like to weight train every single day. I like to do cardio. I like to play with my kids. I like to do all this stuff. I don't want to take any time off. So recovery, any tool I can get to help with recovery is something that I'm going to take advantage of and I'm going to invest in. However, I'm always looking to save money. For example, when I found out about the Marc Pro through Gary Reinhold, that's marcpro.com, first thing I did is I tried it, I used it, I experienced phenomenal results, phenomenal recovery. I noticed my legs were better. I noticed actually in my last show, I was wondering why I had such great leg separation beyond where I had when I competed, despite the fact that, well, I wasn't as lean as when I competed, and I wondered why even when I'm in my off season, so to speak, my legs are separated. Every night I use the Marc Pro. I do a full total leg flush, and it's phenomenal. First set is called those guys up, and I'm like, hey, can I get a coupon code with this? So we got 10% off at Marc Pro with coupon code Lobliner. Gonna see a nice little consistent theme here. So of course with that, Marc Pro's like, hey, let's get together with some of your sales. We'll donate to charity. We've donated thousands of dollars to Cal's Angels, to Semper Fi Fund. So we've gone charity to charity with that. So the whole recovery gun, right? Your Theraguns, your Hypervolts / Hyper Ices. Those are phenomenal in that they've captivated everyone. They're really cool on film. And they're really catchy, and it makes sense. Like, what is a massage? What is a sports massage? It's percussion. It's basically getting your body, moving around, getting the muscle going, working on the fascia, even though the fascia is malleable. It takes a ton of pounds. But they're very cool and very compelling. And you're seeing a lot of big names get behind these. And for good reason. For me, they just make sense. I'm pretty simple. For me, I'm anti-ice. If you have an injury, I do not want you to ice it. I want you to move it. Anytime you move the body, anytime you create blood flow to an area, which is one of the reasons the Marc Pro works so well, your lymphatic system and everything, you're creating a surge of blood which carries all the impurities, all the lactic acid, all of the damaged cells away from your injury, which is why when my daughter broke or sprained her finger really bad, they wanted her 4 to 6 weeks of no activity. We had her on the Marc Pro on her for, I think it was 4 hours a day. Literally, she just had it on the whole time. And in 2 days, she was on the field playing buddy tape, of course, but she was playing with it. And she could even play keeper. It was healed. The reason being is that ice basically halts. It stunts your healing process. Whereas blood flow, activating all those beautiful things like a percussion such as the gun or some kind of a Marc Pro type unit will do. Now together they're even better. They can do great things, but we'll get into that in a second. So I went and I was actually at my buddy Colton's. Colton Anderson, you've seen videos with me. He's basically the guy who handles all of my soft tissue work, right? And he actually bought a Hypervolt. Hyper Ice is the name of the company. And when he was working on me, he actually used it on some of my areas to get blood flow going there, and I loved it. I was like, this is great. This is great. So I'm like, I felt how that worked. I'm like, well, we need to get one of these and try it out because I keep getting questions about these. I keep avoiding the questions because I don't have an answer because I haven't used it and I refuse to just talk about it. Now, so what these guns do, they accelerate recovery and muscle repair, increase blood and lymphatic flow. They can relieve muscle spasms and stiffness. One key thing is breaking up scar tissue. Now, for me, I'm on TRT. I do all of my injections in my shoulders. So think about it. Let's say if I inject in my left or my right delt, I'm able to use that to kind of beat up and, work out the scar tissue, so to speak. which is one of the reasons why a lot of bodybuilders, they'll get deep tissue work on their glutes because they inject a lot of their drugs in their glutes. That's something just, improve lactic acid clearance. We just talked about it, right? We talked about the lymphatic system, getting the lactic acid out of the injured area, getting the lactic acid out of the sore area. Think about it, soreness is your body's recovery. It's basically a temporary injury. Your body's injured. Your body's broken down muscle. So by increasing that, getting the lactic acid out of there, it'll clear it, right? Similar theories. Activates nervous system and muscle. Now, what I'll do now is I really like these guns for before physical activity. So when we were driving to my daughter's soccer games last weekend, my daughter had the gun with her in the car and was working out her legs because she was about to play 2 straight games, right, on full professional size fields because she's that old. She's like a teenager playing up. It is what it is. Muscle fatigue, pain, tightness, soreness, knots. Basically, think about it as a deep tissue massage. And also, what Colton calls it is the hand saver. Now, if you're working, like for my wife, it was really hard. She has sciatic issues since our last kid, and it's gotten a lot better. But now my wife has a really large ass. So for me to actually get in to her ass, get in and get that sciatic nerve and get in and really grind. I'm literally using my elbow with this gun I'm about to show you. All I do is I just put it on super high mode and dig in, right? To her butt cheek, not her butthole. Okay, guys? Just one. Natural stress release. Again, anytime you can improve your pain modality, your pain tolerance, it's a huge thing. Muscle tension related to nerve damage, atrophy, arthritis. One thing I like for it, again, is the neural activation. When you get this going pre-training or post-training, it neurally activates your body. And I love the fact it helps clear lactic acid. So what I did is I researched a bunch of guns and I wanted, now a lot of them are $300, $350. There's a lot of cheap ones on the market. So I read some reviews, talked to a couple people. It's recoveryo.com and I bought this. It's called the Phoenix. I got a cheaper one. It's like $89. This was like $159 or something. How much is it? Let me chink. So this one right here is $169. I actually contacted them. I told them if I do a review on the actual category, I will. My people are going to ask me, hey, which one do you recommend? This is the one I use. So basically, it's the same as the Hypervolt, pretty much. They're all essentially similar. The thing is, the voltage, everything on this one lines up. You turn it on. There's 3 functions. Sounds like a good time. So anyway, if I'm doing my shoulders, I come in here, and if I find an area that's nice and, let's say it's tight, come in here. After I work chest, for example, I always strain this when I go back to barbell bench. I come in here before weight training, right in the injured area, the area that's been injured before, and I work the tendon. Another thing I noticed, I still have a good buildup of scar tissue from when I had knee surgery 20 years ago. I've been using this on it every day, and it has been breaking up a lot of that old scar tissue on my right knee. I use it on the lowest setting. I go around the area, and it's in my inner knee, my medial knee, or my meniscus, I believe is that one. ACL was the middle. So my thing is, I'm going to link it down below. It's recoveryotherapyguns.com. Coupon code Lobliner is 10% off. Do with it what you may. I contact them. Want to make sure that if anybody, that way you save, what is that? You save 17 bucks. I mean, that's cool. And it's free shipping. So, it's still pricey. Thing is, it's a fixed cost. It's a fixed cost, and it's something that you don't have to buy it every day, right? It's not like supplements where you replace them every month. It's kind of like Versa Grips. I always recommend my Versa Grips. You buy them once, and you don't have to replace them every month. It's a fixed cost. Is it worth it? I love it. However, I am a recovery Nazi. I am all about the recovery. But what I recommend this on is, again, all things aside, I still recommend the Marc Pro. I think it's a completely different animal. I think I like that for the total leg flush and also for acute injury recovery, but that's a different video I've done before. If you have an injury, you put it around the injury. Let's say if I injured my pec, I put it probably here, and here, and then it gets the blood flow going around it. I really like it for that reason. I like it for total leg flushing. If you train a muscle, it might help improve recovery. For me, I've never been able to keep it on my upper body. I always utilize it for lower body. But for this thing, man, I mean, like today, I'm training back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in beforehand and and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna work around here. I'm gonna get around to my upper back, get it nice and stimulated. I've taken this to the gym before. I'm becoming freaky like that. But again, my opinion on these, are they necessary? No, you don't need them. Let's be real here. I made most of my gains well before I had this. In fact, all of my gains. However, if looking for a little edge in recovery that might help with neural activation, might help with getting rid of old scar tissue, might help with aches and pains, might help with recovery, then it's something to look into. Anyway, I'm going to link it down below. It's coupon code Lobliner, 10% off. That's all I got for you. If you're interested in the Marc Pro, which is another recovery device, coupon code is, again, Lobliner, and that's 10% off. And that's pretty much all I got. So recovery guns, I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan. Is it necessary? No. Is it worth it? It depends on your expendable income and your place in life. Because you can buy without one. You don't fucking need this. You don't need this. I'm pretty sure Ronnie Coleman didn't win 8 Mr. Olympias because he had one of these. However, if you're like me, you're getting older, or maybe you're just beat your body up and you want to recover a little bit better, give it a try. Anyway, I'm Marc Lobliner. That's not a game. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Look who I ran into in LA.
It's good to meet you. I've been watching your videos a long time. Tell me about this protein bar.
So it's the Outright bar, man. It's all natural ingredients, made with real food. None of that. You ever want to work out? You want just a little snack, a little bar before training, but you know the other bars might give you a gut bump.
Right.
This is something that doesn't have any prebiotic fiber, no glycerin, no sugar alcohols. It's whole, real food.
That is a tasty bar.
Really?
It's easy to eat. It's not too chewy. Normally eat something like this with a big ass glass of milk. That's good.
So it's like a cookie.
Really good. No, it's not good.
If you want, we also have the, want to try the almond butter one while we're here?
Love to.
All right, so this
That's a
is,
badass bar.
this is made with almond butter, Steve.
That's a winner too.
Really?
He's badass. Good protein bars. Where can people find these?
Well, they can find it at any retail stores. You can find it at tigerfitness.com.
2 badass protein bars. So they get 2 double middle fingers up from Stone Cold Steve Austin, and that's the bottom line.